Welcome back to the channel, guys. In this video, we're taking a look at the curve wars, one of the main narratives of 2022, and it's already taking shape. If you enjoy the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, check out the pinned comment down below, and also drop me a comment. Let's jump straight on in here. So the curve token or curve DAO token CRV is one you're probably familiar with. Current market cap $2.5 billion. But why is there a war for this cryptocurrency? And where does Convex also fit in with this? So let's have a little look at Curve here. So this is the Curve application. So it's an AMM, an exchange that was set up for stable coin swaps. So with near zero slippage, you could come here and convert, say, some USDT into USDC, maybe some MIM into UST, that kind of thing. They've recently branched out into V2 where they actually offer cryptocurrencies now. So they dominated the stablecoin game and now they're moving into cryptocurrencies. And by all measures, they're doing very well with this as well. So it could be that they dominate a lot of these markets. So overall, this is a very important protocol for decentralized finance. It is one of the biggest protocols out there, and many believe the most important. Now, with any AMM, you need individuals to come and LP. So provide liquidity to make these pools work. Make sure there's big depth there, make sure there's no slippage, that kind of thing. And this means people can easily trade in and out of cryptocurrencies. So what you see here is a base reward. So this is the APY you'll get for being an LP provider. But to the right hand side, we have the rewards tab here, and this shows the rewards in CRV, the Curve token. So each and every week, there is a vote through the Curve governance to dictate how much CRV is given to these various pools. Therefore, if you own a load of Curve governance tokens, VE Curve, you therefore can dictate exactly where the Curve rewards go. So this is what the Curve wars are all about, because you're not going to come and trade in a pool down here or provide liquidity to a pool down here if there's no rewards. Because if you're a farmer, you're not going to come and allocate any of your cryptocurrency to a pool that doesn't have any rewards. It just doesn't make economic sense for you to do so. So why would you come down here and provide liquidity to a pool that's not paying you anything, rather than come up here and then be an LP provider for one of these ones? For example, MIM to the 3 Curve pool here, paying out around 6% in CRV. If you go to use Curve up here, you can see the locked Curve gives you this voting weight. So the voting power comes from locking your Curve. The more that you lock, the more voting power that you accrue. So you want to have this voting power so you can direct the Curve rewards to these various pools. Curve is a highly inflationary currency. There's a lot of rewards to go around, and so you can incentivize these pools very well. Now, why would you as a protocol want to do this? First and foremost, this means that you can get a lot of liquidity in your pool. If I'm, say, Mr. Do Kwon here or Danielle Sester, I can ensure that there's a lot of liquidity in this MIM to UST pool by controlling the Curve governance votes. This means people are going to use our stablecoins. Very good for us. It also makes us more profitable if we own our own liquidity. Second to this, we don't have to give our own tokens away as incentive rewards. We're utilizing Curve. So this means that your cryptocurrency, for example, Spell, which was giving out as a reward mechanic, no longer needs to be used if you can use Curve instead. So this literally saves your protocol a lot of money. So how does Convex actually fix into this? Well, Convex came in with a novel idea. Previously, the likes of Yearn Finance and StakeDAO were actually the ones controlling Curve and thus directing the CRV rewards. However, they were doing more of a farm and dump approach of Curve. And if you look back at the Curve chart over a long period of time, when we first started out, it was just dumping and dumping and dumping until recently that we can see there's a bit of an uptick here. And there are people just buying, locking it for that 4-year duration to get the maximum governance votes. So this was something that Convex implemented. So Yearn and StakeDAO, farming and dumping. Convex comes in here, flips the game on its head and says this: what we're going to do here is we're going to just accumulate as much CRV as possible, and we're going to keep locking up all the reward tokens we get as well. So in this way, they just started amassing CRV. And so over time, they became the protocol in charge of the Curve rewards. So this is what it says here. Convex came up with a novel idea. The first goal is to create a liquid staking solution for Curve so LPs wouldn't need to lock their CRV rewards. So Convex created CVX CRV down here, and what they did was just gave a massive booster and CVX rewards on top to incentivize you not to utilize Curve directly, but come and stake them over here. So that was the first key to the kingdom, as why would I want to lock my tokens up for 4 years when I could whack them over on Convex, get a better boosted APY, and also have my tokens liquid? Just makes perfect sense. So these guys were playing 4D chess, but secondly, the most important goal of Convex was to accumulate as many gauge weights, so that is the governance tokens, as possible. So by having more of these governance tokens, you can then direct the Curve rewards. Convex has been massively successful in accumulating Curve gauge weights and currently controls over half the voting power of Curve. And because Curve is continually emitting new tokens, Convex needs to keep ensuring that it controls over 50% and thus buying them up and locking them away. So this is the black hole for Curve. Not only do protocols want to own Curve directly, you've also got Convex working in the same fashion and ensuring that they are doing exactly the same thing. But this now means the other protocols want to come in and now own Convex. You own Convex and you can dictate how Convex votes over on Curve. So this is how the wars are playing out right now. And there are many protocols all vying for a driving seat in the mix here, the likes of Alchemix, Frax, and Luna all being named here. Now there's two things you can do. You can offer bribes to CVX holders, i.e. give out some of your tokens. So vote in our direction, and for example, we'll give you some Luna as a bit of a sweetener. But the second option is just to accumulate the CVX for themselves. Lock up CVX and vote on their own protocols to receive the higher reward distribution. And since each CVX token effectively controls 6 VE Curve governance tokens, purchasing CVX is the most optimal capital expenditure for each protocol, and protocols are now figuring this out. The problem is there's less than 4% of CVX available on exchanges, less than 4 million CVX tokens, and these protocols are looking to accumulate much more than what is available. Hence the price action on Convex that we've seen as of late. It's just been going up and up and up. It just seems like there's infinite bid for this, pretty much because there is. The fact Curve votes are worth money to you and you can control them via Convex now, it makes sense to own both Curve and Convex. So this war that is just playing out here looks like it's creating a bit of an up-only environment for both of these tokens. So Jack Newald put a full thread together on this. This reiterates a lot of what we just talked about, but I'll go into a few examples that he actually puts together here. So he first of all talks about stablecoins. Curve was originally built for stablecoin swaps. So what does a stablecoin protocol need? Well, they need their stablecoin to remain at $1. Makes a lot of sense. If your stablecoin's going down to 85 cents every other day, it's no longer useful. So Spell, its main product is MIM. If MIM doesn't hold its peg or it trades below $1, the system therefore breaks. If you've got a loan, that can become worthless, interest rates no longer valid, you can't trade large amounts. With too little liquidity, the stable coin loses that $1 peg. So how do you get liquidity? Well, you pay the yield farmers to come here, and in return you give them rewards in the form of Spell tokens. This comes at a cost, as of course you're going to get the farmers taking the rewards and dumping them. Not good for hodlers and for the long-term trajectory. So this is where Curve and Convex comes into play here. Curve's the number one stablecoin DEX in the industry, tons of volumes and deep liquidity. And as we know, Curve distributes CRV tokens to each of the pool, which is voted on every single week. So if your pool gets enough votes, you don't have to incentivize liquidity using your own token, i.e. Spell, and this is what they've found recently. You can incentivize with Curve instead. And as he says, this is worth money. Enter Convex, the kingmaker. So Convex figured out that Curve was worth money, not just as a governance and farm token for Curve, but as a token that could actually help out other protocols and for them to save money. So they began to accumulate Curve. So Convex was the first protocol to do this, and they've put themselves in an extremely strong position. we're now seeing a load more protocols come into the mix and start accumulating Convex due to the fact they realize the severity of this situation. If you're a DeFi protocol, this is like the arms race that you need to be involved with. So within this crypto condom tweet storm here, back in November, he looked at a load of different protocols that were jockeying for position in CVX. So this goes on to look at Alchemix. They were the first ones to buy $800,000 worth of CVX. Then Badger DAO stepped into the race here. They locked over 1.1 million Convex tokens. We've got Andre Cronje here. We've got Abracadabra as well as Stasis down here, and even Keeper DAO. So what you can see here is that a load of these protocols cottoned onto this, and they decided they needed to get involved. Olympus DAO has one of the biggest treasuries in crypto, and these guys also saw the need to get involved here. And at this point in time, they own roughly 10% of all Convex tokens. We now have 5 protocols here: Ohm, Rook, Time, Fate, and Frax, each with over 1 million Convex. You can see back here, Wonderland Money, Time, accumulated 1.1 million CVX at an average price of $25 back in mid-December. Then the start of this year, we can see here the rate at which Curve is being locked up. 31st of December, 185% of daily emissions locked from Curve into CVX CRV, so they've got into the Convex black hole there. And again on the 1st of January, 147% worth of the daily emissions. Again, this was Curve locked into CVX CRV, so the Convex black hole in full effect. Net deflation, extraordinary synergy. So this means that both Curve and Convex at this moment in time look to be deflationary due to the insane buy pressure on both of these assets. In another tweet here from Mr. Crypto Condom, he put together all the amounts of CVX taken by these various protocols, and as you can see, these are all battling for dominance in the Curve wars here. But to add to this, Luna has stepped up the pace here. So Terra Labs actually bought OTC, some CVX from Sifu. I believe this is one of the Abracadabra money team, and this was a cool 250,000 Convex tokens, putting them well and truly in the race here. And I think Luna will continue to add. So this is just crazy stuff. And then in December here, we have Redacted Cartel from Tetranode coming online and raising a ton of money. Again, another black hole for both Curve and Convex. They raised $73 million. They put $22 million into Ohm, $22 million into Curve, and $28 million into the Convex token. And what this means is we have more black holes coming online on a monthly basis right now, more DAOs that are hell-bent on getting control over the Curve wars. And as you can see from this overall treasury, these guys don't sell, they are just in accumulation mode. So over time, their numbers and their holdings of these various tokens are just going to go up. So the Curve wars narrative taking shape very early on here in 2022. You can see the price of Convex potentially going a lot higher, and likewise with Curve. I would not be surprised to see these just continue growing and growing and growing, as these are not typical retail people buying these tokens. These are both DAOs and protocols that need to acquire as much of Curve voting power as possible for their own strategic objectives. So in my opinion, this black hole will just continue, and this will spark off a major rally in DeFi, and we're starting to see the very early signs of this right now. So that was my explainer of the Curve wars. Now drop me a comment down below. Which one do you think should be more valuable? Is it Curve or is it Convex? I would like to hear your opinions. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.